Four massive empires were competing for power, nations preparing for conflict, and a continent filled with fear, pride, weapons, and secrets. Today, we're breaking down the real reason World War I began, and why one event pulled the entire world into war. By the early 1900s, Europe wasn't peaceful. It was a ticking time bomb. Countries were building enormous armies, with Germany's army growing to over 2 million soldiers. France introduced mandatory military service, and Russia had the largest army in the world, but it was poorly trained and badly supplied. Then came the naval arms race, with Britain ruling the seas with its new dreadnought battleships. Germany wanted to challenge Britain's naval power, so both sides kept building bigger and deadlier ships. Every country felt threatened, so they kept building more weapons. This is what historians call militarism, the belief that a nation must have a powerful military and be ready to use it. But armies were only one part of the problem. Europe had divided itself into two massive alliances. If one country was attacked, all their allies had to join the fight, escalating conflicts. On one side was the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy, though Italy later switched sides. On the other side was the Triple Entente, France, Russia, and Britain. This system was sold as protection, but was really designed to collapse like dominoes. If one piece fell, the entire line would fall down, causing wider war. Meanwhile, imperialism was fueling the fire because European empires controlled most of Africa and Asia by 1914. They wanted more colonies, resources, influence, and power in their quest for dominance. Germany felt left behind as Britain and France had giant empires, fueling rivalry and tension. Deep inside Europe, nationalism was exploding among different peoples. Germans wanted to prove their strength, while the French sought revenge for losing territory to Germany years earlier. Slavic people in the Balkans wanted independence and unity, especially Serbia, a small nation with a big dream to unite all Slavs into one country. But Austria-Hungary ruled over millions of Slavs who wanted freedom, creating a powder keg in the Balkans. This region was ready to explode at any moment, ready for conflict. And in 1914, the inevitable finally happened. On June 28th, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to Austria's throne, visited Bosnia. A Serbian nationalist group called the Black Hand saw him as a symbol of oppression. A 19-year-old named Gavrilo Princip fired 2 shots, hitting the Archduke and his wife. Both died within minutes, but this was just the spark, not the cause of the tension. It simply lit the match for the ongoing powder keg to ignite. What happened next was a chain reaction that Europe could no longer control. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia, and Serbia called for help from Russia. Austria called on Germany, leading Germany to declare war on Russia, then on France. Germany invaded Belgium. Britain declared war on Germany in response. Within days, Europe was in flames. Within months, the entire world was at war. World War I didn't happen by accident. It was the result of decades of tense buildup. Militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism created the perfect conditions for disaster. Finally, one spark, the assassination, lit the fuse to ignite the conflict. This wasn't just the start of a war, it was the beginning of a new world. A world that would never be the same again, forever changed by the horrors